Hello, in this video we're going to just review what we talked about Wednesday, September 9th. So for those of you that were unable to be here, you can use this video to kind of bring you up to speed, and then for anybody else that wants to watch it, you can review it. So we're going to be talking about 1 and 2 point perspective in the next couple weeks. So this is just kind of an introduction to it. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to kind of defeat the flat surface, how to get our drawings to sort of come out at you a little bit. So when we talk about 1 point perspective, we're really talking about the use of a vanishing point. So this little dot right here is going to represent my vanishing point. So if we say, okay, we're in a room, I'm almost 6 feet tall, so my eye level is about right here. So I'm standing back in the room staring at a point on the back of the wall, okay? What happens is I've got lines that are either vertical, I have lines that are horizontal, that are all parallel to each other, or I have what are called lines of convergence. And those are going to be the lines that make up where the wall and the ceiling meet, okay? So here, these lines of convergence go back to the vanishing point. Let's say that I have ceiling tiles. Again, they all go back to the vanishing point. Let's say that I had a door over here, okay? That door is the top of the door is going to go back to the vanishing point. All right? If I had a table sitting in the middle of the room, all right? Let's say like that, a big table. Those lines are going to be lines of convergence, and they go back to the vanishing point, okay? All right, so immediately with just a few lines, you see that you can start to invite the viewer into the space. Think of like The Simpsons, for example, going into their living room. It only takes a few lines, and you can establish a location for a narrative, okay? So if we sort of take that idea and we apply it to any kind of form, okay? So again, here's our vanishing point. We can go ahead and start with a rectangle, and you guys can try this just on copy paper or something. This goes back to the vanishing point, back to the vanishing point, back to the vanishing point. And you just finish off your form, and then you've got a form there in space. If you set one on the horizon line, like this, back to the vanishing point, back to the vanishing point, you only see 2 planes rather than the 3, because you can't see the top and you can't see the bottom, okay? Doesn't matter where you put it, it's just gonna change your vantage. Back to the vanishing point, vanishing point, vanishing point, and there we go, okay? You could easily make these things sort of, let's do one more over here. Okay, vanishing point, there we go. So if we make these things, you know, you can create the illusion that, let's say, like a little snake is kind of winding through this thing. Okay, so we start to get this sense of space. Very simple little trick to get that to happen, okay? A drawing that you can try is to create almost like a mobile made out of Post-its. Let's think of it this way. So you can sort of work off this video. Let's go a little bit longer. But what I do is as my Post-its go up, and I keep that I keep the width the same as best as I can. Okay, and then we could have the posts go down, Post-its. Okay, and then we can kind of thread them together. Be very careful when you do this, and pay attention to where you're ending your thread, like that. And then you get that feeling like we're in space here, and we're standing in front of a mobile made out of Post-it and string, and we can see the planar shift as our vantage shifts. If we're below the post-it, we see the bottom of it. If we're above the post-it, we see the top of it, okay? Another quick thing that we're gonna do is this semester and early in the next couple weeks is we're gonna talk about 2-point perspective. Now we have 2 vanishing points, okay? Between those 2 vanishing points, you have a horizon. If you think about a child's drawing, okay? Children, kindergartners that are starting to want to draw and depict what they see in life, a lot of times they'll put a sky up here with maybe a sun, and then they'll put the ground down here. Now what's going on in here, nobody really knows. That's really kind of the beauty of children's drawings. But if we kind of move more to an adult perception of the world, we would have just our horizon line here. You could still put your sun if you want, okay? But that's the ground, that's the sky, okay? And maybe your tree fits in here somewhere. Okay, so we have a very different sort of perception between that child approach and then this kind of more of a grounded approach, more of what you might see walking through a park, okay? So here's our horizon line. This could just be the ground and the earth right here, North Dakota in the winter, all right? But the same sort of rules apply. If we want to create a form, we start with a vertical line. We go back to the vanishing point, back to that vanishing point. Now we got to use the second one. So we're heading over here, heading over there. And again, do your best to kind of line it up. It's not perfect. Over here, we're going to go back to this one, and then over there, we're going to go back to that one. All right? Same thing if we try it up here. Back to the vanishing point, back to the vanishing point, that one, and then we got to go over here for that side and over there for that side. If we put one on the horizon line, we go back to the vanishing point, back to that one, back to that one. And then now we only see 2 planes again. Again, we don't see the bottom and we don't see the top. All right? You put one way down here, and it just means that you're going to see more of the top. Okay? And the same thing applies. You could go ahead and make them hollow if you wanted to. You could make something go inside of it. We'll use our snake again. All right. So again, very quickly, you can start to activate your picture plane and start to tell a story and start to invite the viewers into this sort of illusory space, okay? So these are just some things that you can try before we get into a little bit more official 1- and 2-point perspective drawings, but you could take a piece of scrap paper, follow this video, and just try this a little bit and hopefully start to see the potential for 1- and 2-point perspective. So thank you, talk to you soon.